Hello there and welcome into WCSN's continuing coverage of Arizona State men's basketball. Alongside Braiden Bell, I'm Rob Werner at Wells Fargo Arena, where the Arizona Wildcats just took down the Arizona State Sun Devils 77-70 in this edition of the Territorial Cup. Braiden, in the first half, Arizona really got out to a hot start. They were up as many as 18 points, but then the Sun Devils came back a little bit. They actually went up 7 points in the second half. Do you think they just kind of ran out of gas at the end of the game?
You know, you mentioned it was a furious comeback. Arizona started out hot. I mean, they look like the best team in all of college basketball, folks. They could not miss a shot. Arizona State, on the other hand, they couldn't make a shot. I mean, it was ugly, and you could really feel the tension in the air here at Wells Fargo Arena. Then all of a sudden, almost on a dime, it switched. Arizona State was the hot team, and the Wildcats were struggling. And in fact, it was only a 1-point halftime deficit for Arizona State, which really felt like a miracle if you're an ASU fan. And then in the second half, I think what you said, it might be right. I mean, it's tough to come back from a big-time deficit, 18 points, the largest deficit ASU faced all year long. To come back against a team like Arizona, not easy, with their size, with their talent. I mean, just everything they can possess, it can exhaust you, and I think we saw a little bit of that. Arizona State struggled in the second half from the free throw line, just 1 of 6 from the line, and also just shooting open threes, normally that you would see Trey Holder make, for example. He could not make those shots in clutch time, and it was really just a worst-case scenario because when Arizona State was fading, the Wildcats were peaking at the right time.
We can't talk about this game, Braiden, without talking about Arizona's freshman phenom, DeAndre Ayton. He had 25 points, 16 rebounds. What is so special about Ayton?
Emphasis on the freshman. I mean, he's a man, folks. He's not playing like he's a first-year college player. I mean, Bobby Hurley said it after the game that he might be the most talented big man he's ever seen as a coach or a player. And he's seen a lot of good ones. I mean, he played at Duke, like you guys know. So, I mean, that right there should tell you how good this man is. And it was interesting tonight because there was a stretch in the game where he didn't really score. His impact was still felt on defense, obviously, and also just drawing double teams. Then, when things got tight with about 10 minutes to go, he said, all right, my game, fellas. Give me the ball. I'm going to go win this game. And everything he did was turned to gold, pretty much, for Arizona in the crunch time, and he's just so special. And he's going to carry – if Arizona's going to make a run in March, it's going to be on the back of DeAndre Ayton.
So, Braiden, Arizona State suffers this loss to Arizona. They get swept in the season series. But what do you think this game meant kind of for the program and the fight that ASU showed?
You know, there's no moral victories, and Bobby Hurley's never going to say that. None of the players are going to say that. But, you know, from my perspective, tonight was big. I mean, this place was the largest attendance ever for a game at Wells Fargo Arena, believe that or not. Over 14,000 fans, mostly ASU fans. When Arizona's come to town in the past few years, you've seen a lot of blue and red, but not so much this year. There were a lot of ASU fans, large majority, I would say. And, I mean, it was just an incredible atmosphere. Bruce Buffer, you know, said the starting lineups. This was a show, kind of like the Oregon game. Remember that? I mean, all those celebrities were there for the Oregon game. Tonight was just like that, only amplified even more. So Bobby Hurley's obviously done a lot of great things with this program. This loss is a setback. There's going to be growing pains. They're not there yet, but they're closing the gap between Arizona and Arizona State, closer than it's been in years.
So with this loss, Arizona State moves to 17-7, 7-7 in conference play. They're going to head next week to Oregon to face Oregon and Oregon State. But right now, alongside Braiden Bell, I'm Rob Werner in Wells Fargo Arena, Cronkite Sports.